Welcome to Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abram. You know my partner, Albert Cammett. Just from the headline alone, Al, banner year for Columbiana.
How about that? The girls' win streak goes to 21 with a 66-49 win over Poland. Ava Henrik, 15 of her 24 points in the first half. Anna Clemmer and Evelyn Rapp also stepped in with 16 and 15 points. Then we got the boys. Columbiana senior Seth Stroherick, 37 points. 76-64 win over Lowellville. They are 18-2 on the year. I'm hoping the Columbiana community is saying, geez.
Pretty good group here.
You're not kidding.
Doesn't happen often. Don't take it for granted. How about it? That'd be the advice.
That's probably the greatest thing George will ever say in this
don't take
show.
It for granted.
That this isn't a school that recruits players. That goes out and, you know, that we're going to get 3
car washes, candy sales.
Yeah.
This is
Columbiana.
This is Columbiana. It's not like, some big bishop so-and-so and you just have a golf outing and make 30 grand.
Exactly. I'm kind of guessing, because George and I both coached in public schools, that you saw both these groups coming through in 5th, 6th grade, and thought, saying, hey, we got something special coming through. Let's really put the pedal to the metal and get them ready. And congratulations to the boys and girls at Columbiana.
21-0, 18-2, 39-2. Not a bad record.
We'll take that, huh?
Not a bad record, but Al, what's coming around the corner in the next couple of weeks.
No question.
The playoffs, and then you're going to run into a private at some point.
Not even a thought.
And it happens in both
We'll talk about it here
states.
again, because I really get frustrated with really, really good coaches like at Columbiana that their game plan goes right out the tubes. They have no chance.
But the worst one of all those, when the local teams have to play Akron St.
It is. It's been like that forever.
I mean, it's like, I remember the one year, Struthers was undefeated, and, I'm thinking, okay. Then I saw the halftime score, and I just said, you're a dummy for thinking it.
Yeah, they scored 100. Struthers scored 100 before the game before that.
Yeah.
And they got beat almost by 80. I mean, it's just, it's not what we know. We definitely know, and there's no rules against it. That's the part about it.
No one's,
No, that's the sad part. You just go do it every year.
Kind of doing what they're supposed to.
Yes. Girard girls won the Northeast and 8 Conference Championship, defeating Hubbard. Allie Gassman had 13 of her 23 points in the first quarter, so they pulled away. 8-3 in the league, wins the league. You can see they must have played a tough schedule.
Catch up, Mackenzie White, the only senior.
Like that, George.
What's that tell you?
Like that, George.
Although, be careful. I've had a couple teams that were really good and had enough people back, and you'd think you'd be good again, but it doesn't always click. I've had it the other way, where I only had 1 or 2 back, and they picked up the slack. So I would be careful. This is a great year, but don't think it's automatic next year.
If you do think it's automatic, then you won't be on our show next year. I'll tell you that right now, because that off season is to build and get better from where you're at right now. So Girard girls, make sure that's a part of your game plan as we move on into the playoffs in Ohio basketball. Youngstown State continues to win, beating Detroit Mercy 87-72. Jawan Maxey led the attack with 21. Shot the ball really well from 3, 6 for 10 from 3.
We may have some casual basketball fans. If he shoots 6 for 10 from 3, that's 18 points.
Right.
You would have to shoot in excess of 90 from 2 to beat him.
To match it, right?
You can't.
No. Yeah, so if shoot good, look good will always be the story of my life in basketball. And it looks like old Jawan was firing that day. They moved to 16-10. 10-5 in the Horizon League. We've been here before, George. We've been here before. A team that could get into the NCAA March Madness tournament. They're right on the edge of it, but you have to go in there and get it done there. And they haven't been able to do it. They get to the finals or they get to the semifinals and get knocked out. We do say the Horizon League has some good teams, but they're not great teams like they used to be.
No, they could win that.
Yeah, there's no Butlers and no,
Valpo's.
Chicago.
No, they get knocked out in the first round too, and we've seen it. We've seen both ways.
Morris got
They're playing a little better. Cleveland State's it's not a great league
No,
this
it's
year.
not.
But I'll tell you what, don't let your guard down.
Yeah, no, you'll lose to
You're going
anybody.
out.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
George has described it.
Yeah.
It's not a great team, but there's a lot of teams going to knock you off, and that's where they're at. We have a local girl, Kennedy Lewis, that is a 5-sport athlete. I've heard a lot of 4s.
She only has 16 letters, though. My Lord.
Yeah, and good in all of them.
Yes.
But our stress point on this show has been for a long time is academics and athletics can go together. There's no reason why they can't. You hear that principles. I don't want to hear you say, I don't want to be in athletic school. They can go together, and she's proving it. She looks like she's going to be a class valedictorian, 4.54 grade point average. I like her quote. I said, that's one of the reasons.
Someone at home has stressed education. I have no idea the family situation, but I know someone has gotten to this young lady and said, education is more important.
Kennedy, your quote is going high up on our show, and here it is. A sports record always go away. Your name will be up there, but they're meant to be broken. That's important. They're meant to be broken. She said, at our school we have a valedictorian and a salutatorian board that your name gets engraved on. My goal was always to have it on the valedictorian side because that never goes away.
No, it's there forever, and that's a big deal. 4.5. That's all A's in advanced classes,
Yes.
too. That's the other thing.
Yeah, she's not taking any bad classes.
I was taking my senior schedule. Like wood shop, I had volleyball.
Yeah, we all found it out.
I'll tell you, it's quite an honor. And we've spoken to several coaches of women's basketball, and that's one thing that's sometimes a little different.
Tell the Duquesne coach.
Yeah, the Duquesne women's coach. He
This is a good
told Al,
story,
and
yes.
he said, look, we said, you're getting these girls from, Eastern Europe. Well, he said, they want challenged. They want tough. Where I would be thinking, who's the easy teacher?
Right.
And they don't want that. They want tough courses. They want challenge in the classroom. And that's why some of the schools are better that are tough academically, because these young ladies want the tough course. Not all.
Yeah.
But it's a little different than college football now. It's turned into a meat market.
Yeah. And what he said was so interesting that he doesn't have to worry about them transferring.
Yes.
Because they love the challenge at Duquesne University academically, and they said, we're not leaving. We'll play basketball here, and we're good basketball players.
We're fine.
But we're going to attack the academics.
Yeah, that's a just unique, and even when you say it, they're probably
like when you see Georgia football.
Yeah,
I don't think you're
think that. No,
you're not thinking that.
Probably
They're
4 or 5
some
of those guys are.
Yeah,
same with Ohio State.
Exactly.
Some of those guys are in the lab right now.
Right.
But the bulk of them are in Florida getting ready for the combine.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so it's just in there. All right, now Super Bowl. Let's talk about it. I used the word snoozer. I was thinking of a better word, but it was domination. Now, let me ask you. It went south the whole game. They had 46 pressures, no blitzes. But my question to you is, at 10-0, were you still on board till he threw the pick six? That's what I thought.
Because it was only 10-0. I
Yeah.
said right there, you said Philadelphia.
He's okay.
I said to my grandkids, Philadelphia's dominating this game.
It's only 10-0.
But it's only 10-0.
Homie could hit one.
Yeah, it doesn't
Then
matter. One
the
chip
Gene
on.
brings it back, and
Right.
I just said, I started watching Gunsmoke. Because I knew. No, I'm not kidding.
It was complete domination. They didn't cross midfield.
Third quarter.
It was 34-0.
Yeah. Then they had to put that last one in on, of course. They couldn't just run into the line.
They got us.
Al calls me at a square.
It's amazing.
Speedy said, we got it. I said, what are you talking
I
about?
never thought it. I never thought they'd throw the
So
ball.
they get the ball back. Why didn't he, where was it at? The 50?
Yeah.
I mean, he could have punted. I mean, it would have been out of the realm.
I don't know why he didn't punt. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He threw a pass.
Yeah.
Okay, so George said they're going to throw it. I said, no, they're not.
Yeah, I looked out there, everybody out
Before
wide.
we said it was in the end zone.
Touchdown!
Yeah, it was really unbelievable. Every team in the country, outside every, you're down 40 to.
Put the backup running back in and run it twice.
End the game
Yeah,
ends.
you
Yeah,
can't.
every team.
Yeah. Now, we have to talk about Mahomes. Now, I know all the lore. He's this, he's that. But you can't have it both ways. You can't give them all the credit when they win, which they do. Guy was saying today, he said, well, wait a minute. when they won, it was always him. So when he loses, that's a job to have. When you get the credit when they win, when you lose, they blame everyone else.
Yeah,
he said it was his fault. I mean,
he's good at saying the right things.
He did say the right thing. But he said I gave him 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, my justification really hit home on this one. You have to understand I have strong thoughts on 2 major things, and they all went up like this. Al Campbell went like this.
Yeah.
Number 1, Will Levis and Danny Dimes. They always say,
Can't play.
if you didn't know who Mahomes was yesterday, all right, let's say, remember, we know who he is.
He thought
You
it
would
was
say,
Levis.
this is the worst quarterback
Yeah,
I've ever
running
seen.
sideways.
That's the way they play every game.
Mm-hmm.
No, every game they're running for their life and they throw interceptions. Well, Danny and Will, you got your justification. Let the greatest quarterback maybe of all time.
Yeah.
When you get rushed like that,
Yeah.
you look like putrid.
And Brady, even in the one Super Bowl, the Giants made him look ordinary, and he's the GOAT.
No, he is. So that's number
And you
one.
have a third one, too. I'm going to give you
Well,
credit
number
for
2's
it.
coming.
I'm going to save it.
Number 2's coming. And it's the players, not the coach. When I sit here on this show, I bet you said 6 times, George has asked me, who thinks is going to be the first coach fired? And I'd say, I don't know, maybe Peterson. And George would say, oh, it's going to be Sirianni of Philadelphia. He's a joke. He goes for two.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's such a joke.
He was almost out the door last
But George
year.
wasn't the only one saying it.
No.
You understand? The whole country was saying
No, the Philly fans wanted him out. He was yelling at the fans.
He's out. It's the proof.
Yep.
He doesn't even talk in George.
He doesn't have either side of the ball. And he's had 5 different coordinators, 3-0, 2
doesn't even talk in
in
thing.
3 years. So what is he doing? Massaging egos.
Yes, that's important. But I'm saying, you put that Eagles team with any coach in the NFL, it'll be a hard to beat
front
them.
In both sides.
Both sides of the line.
Yeah. And your third thing, you're not giving yourself credit. How do you win in football? You rush with 4.
Oh, yes.
46
They never
rushes.
did it, did they? They rushed 4 almost the whole game.
No. Take almost out.
The whole game.
They didn't blitz.
Okay.
No, it's proof. If you can rush with 4, now you got 7
to cover with.
It's
but I'm not talking about rush. I'm talking about semi-rush. I'm talking about all over them with 4 guys. With 7 back there, you have no chance.
And to add insult to injury, the one time he coughed the ball, the other guy smacked him in the face like.
That was a penalty.
Yeah, and they just said, "Well, we missed it, whatever it was." But he was awful, and here's all I'll say to that: if you're going to give him all the
I agree.
credit,
They do all the
give
time.
them the blame. If you don't, then it's you. They're going to be looking for O-line in the draft, right?
Their O-line was pretty good all year, though. Wasn't like it was bad all year. They got rampage in that game.
You know, Al's a line guy, and it proved out to be
Number one
right.
in football. There's not a chance that anybody say anything else.
And what'll happen?
But Barkley was really good at Giants, just good though.
No
one knew till he got here.
No, I thought he'd be good, but not 126
because
yards.
he's untouched for 5 yards, and when he gets in the open field, untouched, it's hard to get him down.
That, I call it that scoot. He's here and he's here.
Yes.
And I always do. I'll do a few games now and again at university at Slippery Rock. It's D2, but the great ones can change direction without slowing down. And
He does it better than
his,
anybody. Yeah, he does
he's
it better
the
than
master.
Yes.
But we've talked about that. It'll slow down the GOAT talk. I mean, 3-2 is not 4-1, 5-0. That'll slow down the GOAT talk.
Well, I'm happy because I always thought Brady was the best, and Mahomes. They said Mahomes was passing him up. I said, wait a minute, it's too early.
Has he got to win 6 or 7?
Yeah,
At least 5.
Yes, I mean, if
Yeah,
he does that,
yeah.
man, I think he's in the top 5 all time right now.
Right now.
But don't call him the GOAT. Please don't call him that. Okay.
No, it's funny for next year. The favorites are right up at the top. Kansas City's up there. They're up there with Buffalo, and they're up there with Philly. But guess who's up there that you might be shocked? Vegas come out with their numbers.
Who is it?
You wouldn't be shocked. Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals.
Remember, I liked them this year.
Yes,
If they got in,
I'm writing it in.
if they get in, people are going to be scared of playing them.
Now, let me ask you this, AFC,
Does it-
NFC. There's this nonsense that all the good teams were in the AFC. Buffalo, Kansas City. Does this put a little hold on that?
I hope it does. I hope it does.
In other words, they put a 50-piece on the Redskins, and yesterday they could have had 60. They shut the motor off at the end of the third. They shut the motor off. Don't think they couldn't have scored a 50-piece because they could. And like I said, early favorites next year, Baltimore, Philly, Cincinnati, with the Eagles. I'm a Hurts guy. I'm amazed at what he's been kicked to the curb.
That's why I like him.
Yeah.
No.
Kept coming, buddy.
I had to tell my wife. She said, why are they talking about? I said, babe, he went to Alabama
Yep.
and won almost every game.
Yeah.
He gets to the finals, and in the middle of the game,
Yeah.
he gets pulled. I said, yeah, just pulled.
Didn't leave.
And he did not leave and did not cry.
No.
I mean, well, you're talking about a guy that gets it, and then they're asking him, we're going to hand the ball off a lot. Some other quarterback can be complaining, saying, I came here to throw the ball.
Yeah.
He came there to win. He came there to win. You got to give him credit.
And they had him back in the, he was buried in the depth chart at one time, and now all of a sudden he's Super Bowl MVP. Hey, nice little 5-1 payoff for the first tutty. You knew if they got down there, he was going to do the push.
Always.
I mean, that was that they were given. They don't give much away, but that was one we could have gotten. Reed the same. Don't get me wrong. He's a fine coach.
Right.
His wins at Philly say so. His wins at Kansas, but let's just
3-3.
put the brakes on.
He's 3-3 in the.
And, this is interesting. I was thinking about this. This guy did a little 1-minute speech on it on the radio. It was just perfect. They talk about Belichick's Patriots. They talk about Andy Reid's Kansas City Chiefs. They talk about Lombardi's Packers. Still curtain.
They don't talk about Noah ever.
Never.
I said
Never.
No, it's amazing.
And the guy was, now wait, he wasn't just good. He was foreign, like Michael Jordan. Don't discount that 6 and O.
Right.
The O is what gets me.
Right, yes.
Chuck Noll, 4.
Never gets mentioned.
Oh, no, it's never Noll Steelers.
No.
It's the...
Bill Walsh's 49ers.
Yes.
No, never.
No.
No. I mean, never.
Never.
It's always
Yeah.
Bradshaw, Harris, Still Carter, Joe
yeah.
Green. They never say Chuck Noll.
No, 4-0.
Yeah.
Good point, Al.
Yep.
And
I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, he deserves it. There's no question about it. He definitely deserves it. NBA, there was a trade. Normally, they'll trade a 7th man for 7th man. What happened? Nothing. Whoa.
This is big.
Whoa. They're getting people in the stands are telling people on the floor, Luka to the Lakers. These guys are looking. What are you talking about, Luka to the Lakers?
It is.
What you talking about, Willis?
Yes, exactly.
And he did.
Yeah, what a trade. And for the long run, it's a Laker winner, Luka. For the short run, I'll have to take a look because I think Anthony Davis and Kyrie together.
You heard about the brow, though.
Yeah, it went down. I saw him go down, too. I knew he was hurt.
Oh, it's going to be a month.
Boy, he ripped that groin right out.
I thought it was what's abductor? I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, the doctor. Yeah, I thought it was the groin.
But the point is,
he ripped it. Although he went down. I mean, he went.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can tell somebody's really hurt.
Yeah.
This one was real serious injury.
Without
he gets so many injuries.
You can.
Yes.
If you look at this thing short term, Dallas could they got some players.
No, their lineup's tremendous.
Yeah, but you take him out of there and they're average again.
Yeah.
Now turn it around. Luka's going to play.
It's going to be very interesting how they play together.
And by the way, there's little stuff is seeping out about the reason.
Why they get rid of him?
Work ethic's the big one. He's fat and he smokes cigarettes.
I could have told you that.
You just look at him. You always said he was fat. Get on the bike.
And he's so, I am not a Luka guy, so let's understand this.
Yeah.
He doesn't defend one iota.
Won't try.
When he doesn't have the ball, he stands and watches. He does not want to play.
No,
if he doesn't have the ball.
No.
So he has to have the ball. George, I don't know what is LeBron going to do.
I heard a guy say somebody can spot. I said, spot what up? What are you watching? LeBron and Luka.
They've never spotted up in their life.
Never. And LeBron's not that good of a shooter. He's
know.
a good shooter. He's
Yeah.
not that kind of shooter.
That's going to be interesting.
AD hurt, so we'll have to go from there. Interesting. It's not often 2 superstars are traded.
Never.
And then
In
we
my
had
mind, that's
something for us. Al and I are Cavs fans, big Cavs fans.
Well, now we are because we put a big wager on them.
They made a change the other day that Al thinks that. You know what happened? Boston took names last Tuesday night.
And they figured out we need one more player.
Interesting.
And they got Hunter. They got him. They didn't go out and get an 8th man. They got a guy who could dominate the game, and he's like their 5th man. So you're talking about the Cavs are really ready to roll. Look out for the Cavs in the playoffs. This really gave them a great chance to beat Boston.
The West is OKC to lose.
Yes.
Would you say that?
But they're beatable.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like Dallas is already
They
handled.
seem like they defend.
Luka's always handled
That
handled them.
SGA is the MVP, huh?
I think he is.
I'll say that
the Joker always puts numbers up and always
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
But this year, I think.
And you know what else, too? There's Joker fatigue. like a couple years ago when
gotcha.
Embiid got it. He didn't deserve it.
No,
But-
they gave it to him just because they don't want to get Joker again.
We'll give it to Joker
Yeah,
again. Okay, I believe you're in the right.
Oh, go
right
Cavs!
area
That's what
there.
I'll say. Go
Oh,
Cavs.
I'm rooting for him too.
Yeah.
Now, how about the Warriors? Jimmy Butler comes out opening game with a big one.
Well, he can play.
30.
There's not a thought.
Would you give
They have
him an
no chance.
additional 2 years?
No, I don't. I want to give Jimmy Butler anything.
No, I know it's not a coach's favorite.
Oh my God!
No, I feel
He wants to run every coach out of town.
no, not right away either. He puts a happy face on. It's like
That's his style.
It's like a newlywed.
That's
You're
his style.
married, all of a sudden she comes out. It's like Godzilla.
Yeah.
Like, oh my Lord,
That's
what
who he
did I
is.
do?
That's who he is.
What did I do? I'll tell you one thing. If you want to shut down the NBA, let the Cavs in Oak City get in the finals.
Yeah, it won't be
To
happening.
the
with
end
that
of
one.
television.
It won't be happening.
No.
With that one.
I mean, I'm not saying that'll happen, but if it does,
But it could.
oh,
definitely happen. Yeah.
Oh. Now, here's one thing I'm going to step out on. College basketball, keeping the fans off the court. I'm telling you, someone's going to get killed or crippled if they keep this up. Everybody's laughing about it that's not there. Someone down there was lucky to get off.
Yeah.
You got it. Listen,
Yeah,
they're finding them. You got to get those ropes up with 5 minutes left, and that's it. Now, you want to run out. What they want to do, see, they want to run out and shove their cell phone in Duke's face. See, it's bad enough they're out there.
Right.
But they're not just out there
just
to
to
clad him.
celebrate, no.
They're out there to put their phone in the Duke players' faces.
That's a different. There's a different
And
thing
I'm
today.
no Duke fan.
It's a different thing today.
What do you
Yeah.
think? Stop
I
it.
don't know how to stop it though. That's what I said.
Ropes.
I
You
don't,
got to have people in.
I know, but that takes a lot of security every game.
But my God, how they're playing in 15,000 seat arenas.
Oh, I know that, but
know,
I don't think that's going to stop them though. I mean, it wouldn't stop them. There's so many kids there. Those
You know, there
games.
was a kid out in California somewhere, full ride,
that trampled.
trampled.
Yeah, I know.
And I can't imagine it's happened at
I
concerts.
mean, I hate it, but I don't know how to stop it.
Yeah.
George said maybe ropes. I'll tell you
gotta keep-
anything.
someone's going to get really hurt. They want to taunt the other team. See, they don't just want to go out, hey, way to go, Al.
Right.
They want to taunt
For the
Cooper
wrong
Flag.
reason.
They want to taunt Cooper Flag. Lucky his mom didn't come out. Auburn, we like them. We've talked about, I'm Broom guy, but they got knocked off Florida.
At home.
Florida went in there to Auburn, and I'll tell you what, that was no joke. And I think Pearl's son's assistant in Florida.
He is.
Okay.
And Florida's been up and down. I mean, they're in the tournament for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But when they're at their best, you can see they can beat anybody. At their worst, they score 30 points. It's they're
How many could win it all? I always ask you
a
this.
lot. And more this year than
More
ever.
than 10?
Yeah.
Oh.
More than 10. First time ever.
Really?
More than 10.
Now, let me
yeah.
ask you. There's a rumor the SEC is getting 12 teams.
14 now.
Come on, now, we can't do that. We can't.
It's up to 14 now.
That can't happen.
It's up to 14.
Do
How
you
about
see
that?
it?
I hope
I mean,
not.
okay, I'm not saying do you see it. I'm saying you have some. You can't like it.
I hope. I don't like it
I mean,
at
let's
all.
draw the line at 8, 10, 500.
See, what happens is they got that quad stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever. So every time they beat somebody in their league,
It's a good win.
they jump up.
Especially on the road, it's like
They jump up. So any win in that league, you jump up
Yeah,
crazily.
somebody always says, well, they play a tough schedule. Yeah, but they get that many more opportunities.
Over and over.
No, you're
Yeah.
right. I agree
Yeah.
with you
Uh-huh.
5,000%.
Yeah, 12 to 14. That's just out of
Patino
sorts.
has St. John's playing pretty
How about
well.
you know what's unbelievable about St. John's? I said I didn't know you were going to put them on the sheet there, but I looked it up. Averaging 4 threes a game.
Yeah,
No, I've never
Nope.
in today's world.
old school.
Somebody had a great quote about them. Said if there's 50 great things in basketball, they do 49 of them better than anybody in the country. One they don't shoot. Will that
Okay.
come back and get them in the? I think it will. I think look, they're going to lose the game in the tournament.
It could.
Because if you can't
Some
shoot.
team with 23-year-old snipers.
Yes.
Is that what you're talking
Yes,
about? Like a team like
Like you
Oakland?
said, how many twos you got to make?
Yes.
You know. Yeah. So they defend like
You don't
crazy.
give them credit for realizing their strength and not playing to it. How do you see that? In other words, they
Oh
know
no,
that-
he's doing a good job of that. He said we
Okay.
can't shoot, so we're not. But I don't think you can win a championship
before three.
without shooting.
Okay. No.
I don't know how you can.
That's an interesting stat.
in today's
I'll
world.
give them credit for not taking 35.
Oh yeah,
Like you
that'd
said.
be killing yourself. It would. But you know there are coaches that do that anyway.
Yeah.
They can't shoot and they still let them shoot 30 shots.
Yeah. I had a game a couple weeks ago that honestly,
Were they firing?
I would have left. If I was there as a spectator, you wouldn't have stayed either. I mean,
Every shot.
it's a prayer, a throw. Then they come out at halftime. Where do they warm up at? Guess where they start?
Behind the three. No, that's all they shoot.
Well, Coach, you know what, Coach?
That's why you're losing.
Hey, good sign if you're a college basketball fan Saturday. Dickie Vitale came back. First time in like a year plus. Radiation, chemo. The average fan doesn't know what that does. I had a buddy, he's passed now. He had chemo. And I said, well, how you doing? You know, this and that. And, you know, I'm no doctor,
Right.
believe me. It was rotting his teeth out.
Yeah, well, it's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I listened to him. I wanted to hear him talk, and he still struggles talking.
Okay.
Got the words out that you could hear, but you have to listen closely. Like that.
I got you.
He has to talk like that. But his passion's still there.
Yeah.
You know, he is a goofball, and how he handles but he really loves the college basketball.
And he's raised $1 billion for cancer.
He's all in for
you
cancer.
have to do that.
He's all
You
in.
can't say
Give him
anything.
credit for that, yes.
MLB, guess what's happening? They're heading to
Are they?
Arizona
Come
and Florida
around.
as we speak. Pittsburgh's going to save money and go to Nashville. They're not going to
They may
go
as
all the
well.
way. Yeah, they're not going to go all the way to Florida. Al and I have discussed Major League Baseball in here for nearly 2 decades. The big thing is the disparity. There are 4 or 5 teams, and the only 4 or 5, that's only if the Dodgers stub their toe. If Ohtani pitches as he can, and the other
Nobody's
3
beating
pitch,
them.
I got to figure their over-under is 110, 108. Would you agree?
It has to be. It's going to be 100. I believe it's going to be 108 and a half. I'll predict that right now.
I said that. I just took a stab.
How can it not be when they got the best team by far?
Now, let's talk about it. Can you get hot late in the year and challenge them, though? It's happened.
It does happen in baseball once in a while.
Okay.
But the bottom line is going into this spring training, there's 5 teams that can win it. I don't think there's anybody more.
All right.
Yeah.
UB broadcast his last game Sunday. The adulation, the admiration, the respect was off the charts. Guys coming over that can't know who he is for the Kentucky Colonels.
Yes.
Shaking his hand saying, Coach, good luck. He was emotional.
Yeah, it's really important for you young fans watching is you see him as an announcer. No, he started coaching in high school. Started coaching in junior. He worked his way up like George and I did. All the way, and now he's at the upper echelon. But it wasn't like he was given something.
No.
He had to work all the way up through
I
the
saw a
games.
video of him giving a speech at a camp. It was outdoors. That's all I could tell. Showing him behind the back passes. He's walking the length of the half court with both hands.
Throwing them.
And I mean on the money, on a line.
Yes.
So evidently we know he was a player.
Yes,
Something interesting, women's ball. We don't talk about women's ball hardly, unless there's a streak or a streak program. I have to give Dawn Staley credit. I haven't been a big fan of hers. Her language is, I don't know. There's something about that language. I hear Bob Knight saying it, I don't like it. I hear her say it, and I'm appalled.
Gotcha.
Whatever the reason is. I'll admit I'm old school. I still open the door for women, too, though. They had their streak stopped on Sunday. She could have made 1,000,000 excuses. She said, this was great for women's basketball. The crowd was great. This was a big deal. Now, I'm sure she didn't tell her girls that.
Yeah, women's basketball is on the rise. There's no question about that. And I'm not a big women's basketball fan because I see the talent level different. But you're talking about coming on strong with the fans.
Caitlin.
Caitlin Clark had a lot to do with that. But South Carolina, it looks like they're not unbeatable this year. Before they looked unbeatable.
But you know that little one at LSU wouldn't have taken that loss. She'd have blamed the crowd, the referees.
She doesn't have an ounce of Dawn Staley in her.
No. Thanks again for watching Bottom Line Sports. See you next week.